Boy, what a difference a day makes. Today here in Corner Brook, Newfoundland, the sun's shining and doesn't look like there's going to be much chance of rain today. And boy, look what we woke up to today. I hope you can see this through the camera here, but we're overlooking a bay and the city of Corner Brook. It's just absolutely beautiful here in Newfoundland. I'm so glad we decided to come here. As we leave Corner Brook this morning, we'll be heading up to the town of Deer Lake, and there we'll be turning to get off the Trans-Canada Highway and head to the coast, where we'll follow the course up to Hawke's Bay. You won't want to miss this video. We go through the Gros Morne National Park, and it is just absolutely out of this world beautiful. The outflow of Deer Lake runs along the highway and eventually ends up in the Bay of Islands in the St. Lawrence Seaway by Corner Brook. All the locals that we talked to gave us a caution about the moose because they possess such a threat to motorcyclists and motorists. There were signs everywhere warning you to be on the lookout for these large animals. As we climb in the mountains towards Gros Morne National Park, we pull over at a lookout spot to take a look at the north end of Deer Lake. It looks back toward the area we just rode through. How awesome is this, huh? Here we are heading into the Gros Morne National Park from the south. We'll turn to the northwest and follow along the eastern arm of Bonny Bay. Once we reach out to Lobster Cove, we'll be at the St. Lawrence Seaway. I have deliberately left the clips longer as we ride through the park so that you could get a feel for how the road twists around the bay and the outcroppings. If you make it all the way to Newfoundland on a motorcycle, then this is a must ride. I can guarantee that you won't regret it. We've made it to the coast and the landscape is changing quickly. We start to ride into areas that looks more like tundra in my mind than anything else. As we ride through these small fishing villages, I can't help but think how brutal those westerly winter winds must be coming out of Labrador. We finally pass by a sign warning of caribou. I would desperately like to see caribou on this trip if we can. Here we are going over the bridge at St. Paul's, Newfoundland. As we pass by Parsons Pond River, one might wonder what the interior of this area looks like. And are there any roads that go back in to the east here? And the answer to that is basically no. This coastal road, for the most part, is the only road that takes you north. There are just a handful of gravel roads, and they don't extend too terribly far into the interior. There is a perimeter road that goes all the way around, which we'll be taking tomorrow. This technique of putting power poles and communication poles in these boxes filled with rocks is indicative of the fact that the ground here is so mushy and that the pole would never be able to remain upright in any type of wind at all. So it's just a matter of bracing the poles. We're pulling into Hawke's Bay now, And I would be remiss if I didn't do a little bit of attaboy and attagirl for the Torrent River Inn here. It was just a delight to stay here, and the staff was wonderful. We had a great time in the bar. The food was fantastic, and you just can't go wrong if you end up staying here. I would highly recommend this place if you get this far north.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the completion of day 6. It was a short day for us today. We woke up this morning in Corner Brook, Newfoundland. You can see it by the day 5 marker on the map here. We intentionally planned this to be a short day because we wanted to stage things for the ferry crossing that we hope to complete. At least Mike hopes to complete rather on tomorrow. So we only spent about just a little under 4 hours on the road today. Coming out of Corner Brook, beautiful scenery, great mountainous terrain, great valley work, and some exquisite routing through the provincial park that's situated here on the map, and what effectively was a coast crawl all the way back up to where we're staying for the night, which is called Hawke's Bay, Newfoundland. It's and we're staying at a place called the Torrent Inn. It's a newly renovated little spot, very comfortable. Got some great restaurant access and that, so it's a good spot. We tried desperately to see animals today, but didn't work out quite so much. So nevertheless, no rain, and that's always a positive. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, I'm gonna admit I'm a little bummed. We started checking on availability for tickets for the ferry that would get me over to Labrador, and it turns out they're by reservation, and you almost have to reserve them sometimes 6 months in advance. So there were no spots on the ferry available for me, so I am not going to be able to get to Labrador this time. I'm disappointed, doggone it. I really wanted to go. And but I think we're just going to have to plan another trip and doing it another time. So instead, tomorrow we're going to go up to St. Anthony, which is clear up on the northwest corner of Newfoundland, and we'll do some sightseeing there. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. This little swamp buggy here explains why there aren't many roads that go into the interior. It's real wet and boggy, and you would need something like this to get through a lot of areas.